Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Ben Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Hope y'all been doing good thus far, man, and hoping y'all get ready for prime time weekend. Whatever you guys wanted to do. So I wanted to talk about something that has really been eyeing my attention last couple of days, and it's been bringing to my attention that Giannis Antetokounmpo is getting some heat for his performances against the Nets. And when I've been hearing about this, immediately started shaking my head. Now, do I think that there's been times where he has not made the big time plays that could have decided the outcome of the series? You can, in a way, yes. Um, Particularly in Game Five, where he had James Harden guard him, and you basically bail him out by shooting a wild contested three, or whatever, and you let him off the hook. But if we're being really honest with ourselves, Giannis in this entire series has been, consistently outstanding. He's been averaging 30.5 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, 3.3 assists per game, while shooting at least 56% from the field. His only weaknesses has been, his shooting from the foul line, shooting at 45% and shooting 24% from three. That's not really been one of his main strengths, something that he's going to have to work on. But the thing that I have been kind of just been, scratching my head about is what do you want this man to do? The man has been consistent, throughout the series against the Brooklyn Nets. He has been outstanding, in every single game throughout the series. He's been giving you 30 plus with at least 12 to 13 rebounds per game throughout the whole series. So I'm not understanding where this hating is coming from. Now, a couple of nights ago, after the Bucks lost Game Five, I listened a little bit to 78 Sports TV and Two Raw for TV talk about the game, and there was a lot of questions about the officiating. During the game, where some of the calls that Brooklyn wasn't getting in Milwaukee, they were getting at the Barclays Center when they went back to Brooklyn for Game Five. Now, I will tell you this. I will say that when it comes to officiating, it does change, sometimes with the home court advantage. And the referees are always talking about, there's no belief that officiating is different between the regular season and the postseason. That's absolute crap because every every postseason the officiating is different. There's certain referees that let some things go, and then there's some certain things that the referees will try to, you know, police, throughout the game, sometimes overboard. And so I do believe that officiating in the postseason is totally different than in the regular season because regular season is just regular season. Yeah, they don't care too much about it until the postseason where everything gets scrutinized. Because all the referees and the players are under a fine-tuned microscope. And with the influence of social media, and the influence of these stupid, commentators that don't know nothing about basketball, it it tends to be very, very difficult for them. So I understand on that sentiment. Do I think the NBA is rigged? Now, on that note, here's the deal. Basketball is a sport. I firmly believe that. But at the same time, it is also a business. All right. There's always going to be certain situations where, sometimes the refereeing, can sometimes be screwed up depending on who's the opponent and all that. Now, do I think that Brooklyn is going to get some of the favoritism when it comes to Game 7? You bet your bottom dollar they will. I promise you that. But the point I'm trying to make to you is that there are times where the NBA does fine tune the lines of basically rigging up calls against certain teams. Now it's not as obvious as it was back in the David Stern administration. It's now they now find different sneaky ways to try to manipulate the calls. But do I think that sometimes the game can sometimes be looked at as rigged? Sometimes you bet your bottom dollar I do. But back to the Giannis situation. If you're gonna apply the same kind of level of criticism against Giannis, you need to apply that the same way when it comes to Ben Simmons. This is a man, Ben Simmons, that is still yet to get a jump shot going for his career. I mean, come on, Ben Simmons right now. If you look at his age right now, he's 24 years old, and the man who is a natural right-handed person shoots the ball left-handed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man has not even attempted many jump shots. I mean, right now his shooting percentages throughout his career is basically pathetic. He only shoots 56%, but he needs to be more averages than that. And he's only averaging 15 to 16 points per game. He should be averaging at least 25 to 30 points per game for his position. And so right now, the way I look at it is Ben Simmons is the biggest Achilles heel for the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's why if they lose, the series tonight, because I do think they are playing tonight. Let me check real quick. Just real quick. They are playing tonight. Yep. They're playing tonight against the Hawks. They're down 3-2. If they go on to lose this series, you the blame cannot be set on Joel Embiid because Embiid has been playing with a very bad knee that is a possible meniscus tear, a partial meniscus tear. We don't know how severe the injury is, but I have to say, Joel Embiid has been consistently been outstanding and in his play. He's playing like the old MVP form to start out the year before injuries, derailed his, path to the MVP. But if you are going to apply the same kind of level of criticism against, Giannis for putting up MVP caliber numbers in the postseason, then you need to apply that to Ben Simmons, who has been consistently been pathetic throughout the entire postseason. And I will dare you to say, I will keep telling you, and I'm going to keep saying it. The fact that he has not improved and not even improved his jump shot is ridiculous. I mean, this is basically your fifth year in the NBA. Actually, no, fourth year. Count the fact he didn't play his rookie year with the foot injury. This is basically your fourth year in the NBA, and you mean to tell me that you not even find a way to still shoot the basketball, not just from 3-point range, but from mid range and from the foul line? I mean, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse to that. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: if you're gonna do that to Giannis, you need to do it heavy on Ben Simmons because I guarantee you, he is the reason why the Sixers may not advance to the conference finals if they go on to lose tonight. But my point to you is that listen, Giannis has been consistently outstanding, and the fact that a lot of people are using these talking points to try to slip the narrative that Giannis is not getting it done against the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, what do you expect? All right. Chris Middleton has been out, consistently been outstanding for once. Okay. And Drew Holiday, I like him, but when it comes to big guards, I like a James Harden, he's no match. He's always going to be consistently outpowered by bigger guards and stronger guards like James Harden. Okay. And they're doing this right now without Kyrie Irving, who's injured with his foot. So right now, everything's on the line for Game 7. Everything about the Bucks and everything about the Nets, everything is on the line for Game 7 tomorrow. And so they need to find a way to win the game. They're not going to outscore the Brooklyn Nets, but you're going to have to find a way to limit the other guys from getting shots off and attack the inside. That's how you're going to try to find a way to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, and so if Giannis has another outstanding performance and still loses, I don't want to hear any more criticism about what Giannis has been able to do in the playoffs because he's been putting up numbers consistently and he's been the most consistent superstar in these playoffs. So I don't really understand where the criticism is coming in from. Now, there are certain sections in the game where he could probably make some key plays. You know what I mean? But that just happens in the game. Not every great player is going to make the right play all the time. There's always going to be a mistake in between that. That's just how the game goes. The point is, this criticism is unfair, and I will not stand for that. Now, if he was playing garbage, then I would have said, you know what, he does deserve it. But in this case, he doesn't. I don't believe that. I don't understand it, and it's been becoming much more ridiculous with each passing day. Do I think he needs to continue to improve that jump shot? Yes. At some point, you're gonna have to improve that jump shot because defenses are going to gear to you to stop you from penetrating and getting to the basket. That's been one of the main strengths of his game. But at some point, you're going to have to improve on that, and you're going to have to improve your free throw shooting. But those are the two main keys of criticism there. Other than that, he's been consistent. So, people that have been running the narrative that Giannis has been the reason why they've not won anything in these playoffs, you need to stop it. You need to look outside of that to figure out what's wrong with the Bucks. And I'm gonna tell you this: if the role players like Drew Holiday, Middleton, and Lopez they don't show up and make key plays for them to help Giannis win the game on tomorrow, then all that criticism is going to be levied on the other players, not on Giannis. Now, if Giannis plays garbage, then you know what? I will gladly make a video and say that he deserves all the criticism he got. But right now, I'm hurt to my belief that Giannis has been outstanding. Leave him alone. Let him do his thing. Let him continue to prove his game. And come in Game 7, If he plays outstanding again, I don't want to hear another word out of anybody's mouth. And more other things too. What's up with this hate with the Milwaukee Bucks? I'm not understanding where all this hatred of the Bucks is coming from. Considering the fact it's the most populated, black, city in America. That's where half of their arrests come into play in that city. So, at the end of the day, man, this hate on Giannis is getting ridiculous, and I don't seem to understand it at all. But that's just my 2 cents. You guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think the criticism is fair or you think it's unfair? And with that, I'm out. Peace.